Hello everybody, today I'm going to be making these Season's oyster crackers. I will type the recipe up and put it on a slide on the video, but this is one of those recipes. This is the basic recipe. I tweak it, as you will see coming up. But this is the original handwritten recipe I got from my former co-worker 12-13 years ago or more, and she retired, so I'm very grateful to have this recipe where I can continue to make them. She used to give everybody in the office a little jar of this every Christmas, so ever since she's been gone, I have made it this time of year as well, so I can still get that. So let's get started. First up, I need 1 cup of oil, but because of shrinkflation, the box of oyster crackers is 12 ounces instead of 16 ounces, so I'm going to use 3/4 cup of oil. So I'll just dump it in this saucepan and set that aside. We'll come back to that in a little while. Next up, I'm going to need 1 teaspoon of dill weed.
Dill weed?
I like dill weed. So 1 teaspoon. Yeah, that's a teaspoon. There. Next, 1 teaspoon of this Beaumont or Beaumonde, however you say it. I can only find it in Spice Island, so that's what I use. 1 teaspoon. Right in there. 1 teaspoon of garlic salt. I don't have that kind, but I've got granulated garlic, and that'll work just as well. One teaspoon. Moving right along. Need 1 package of dry ranch dressing in a little pouch. Doesn't matter what brand. Usually the cheaper the better. Dump that whole thing right in there. 1/2 teaspoon of ground red pepper. Something like that. Right in there. While reviewing the video, I realized I left out putting the lemon pepper in. 1 teaspoon of lemon pepper, and then of course one of those boxes of oyster crackers. If you can find a 16-ounce package, great, but that's what I could find at the store the other day. And then I'm going to stir all this up. Stir all that goodness up. There comes the dill weed. Yeah, I said dill weed. And then I can set that aside. And now I've got to come over to the absolutely fabulous and wonderful gas range, and I've got to heat this oil up. Not too high a heat. I want to get it, I don't want to scorch it, but I want to get it warm enough that when I add the dry ingredients, they'll kind of bubble up pretty nicely. So I'll let that heat. And while I'm waiting, I'll just go ahead and tighten the handle up a little bit. That's better. Always something that needs to be tightened up or repaired around here. And I suppose I'll use the old JK18 trick to test the oil. That'll start bubbling up on that spoon when it's hot enough. The recipe I got didn't specify just how warm to get the oil, but the way I do it, it seems to work pretty well. I'm starting to see the little swirlies forming as the oil heats up. While that's, I'll turn that down just a little bit, and we'll come back over here. Let's get this bowl ready. Gotta move fast. While that oil's hot. Just dump those in there. I'll come back over here, see what we got going on here. Not quite. So we'll come back in a few minutes when that's thoroughly heated up. I may chooch the flame up a little bit higher and hasten the process. But that's getting close. I'm smelling the warm oil. Let's see how we're doing. I would have to say that's thoroughly warmed up. I wouldn't think it needs to be much hotter than that. Is it bubbling on the stick yet? Yes, it is. I don't know if that will show. Yes, I can see it on the camera. So that's plenty warm enough. Now I'll put the dry ingredients in the hot oil. And that's just perfect. That's what I want to see. And combine it. Get it good and smooth. That smells amazing. Now back at the bowl, and then just pour the mixture over the crackers and toss till all the crackers are thoroughly coated. And that's pretty good. And then just my personal preference, like to sprinkle some of this on and then give it another quick toss. And that should be sufficiently mixed. Now after that's all mixed up, it needs to cool, and that oil will soak into the crackers with the flavor, and tomorrow these will be outstanding. They're usually better the next day after they're made, or say 6 to 8 hours after they're made. So once again, this has been the seasoned oyster crackers recipe. Thank you for watching.